Today I'm going to show you some simple truths, and then I'm going to show you a map which relates to those simple truths and is a visual representation of what reality is like. But first we've got this scene on our screen showing a large standing body of water, and of course one of the three fundamentals, which is large standing bodies of water do not have the ability to display convexity upon its surface, prove of course that the globe is scientifically impossible. This isn't an opinion, this is a demonstrable scientific fact. The molecular structure of water just can't play the games that the globe wants it to play. Sorry. On a small scale, we get meniscus and surface tension. Great if you want to entertain sophist delusions. But the problem is, we're talking about large standing bodies of water. And I'm afraid large standing bodies of water do not have that ability to display convexity upon its surface, thus proving the globe is scientifically impossible. The way in which things fall, I should say, doesn't change the molecular structure of water or change reality in any shape or form. No one doubts things have an up and down and things fall, but what of course is scientifically impossible are the silly stories attached to the natural phenomenon of things falling, which of course are to get you to believe in absurdities like living on a ball flying through a vacuum. Come on folks, this is getting silly. If you still believe this globe nonsense at this point in time, you really need to address some inner thoughts and processes within yourself. Now I want to get a practical reference from NASA regarding their vacuum chamber, the specs regarding that having an air pressure system on a large scale next to a vacuum. And it turns out the biggest vacuum chamber is NASA's Space Power Facility, which is in Ohio even. Bear with me. And it turns out the spec regarding this vacuum chamber to separate an air pressure system from a vacuum to simulate heliocentric space. The walls, which are concrete, need to be between 6 and 8 feet thick. Yet we're supposed to believe, we're told without any scientific demonstrable references whatsoever, that we live on a ball, which is scientifically impossible. And to make things worse, we're supposed to have an air pressure system next to a vacuum without solid separation. And yet NASA at the same time are citing a practical reference which shows you how absurd that is when we go to their space power facility. Their air pressure system next to a vacuum requires concrete walls that are between 6 to 8 feet thick. Come on, stop falling for the delusions and start standing by real world practical references. There's no better way than standing on the things that are scientifically demonstrably true. Come on people, this is real scientific references and real world demonstrable science that can be tested and verified by all, whether it be the water or a vacuum chamber. You need solid separation to have a vacuum chamber next to an air pressure system, again proving the globe is scientifically impossible. And again, gravity, the heliocentric stories attached to the natural phenomenon of the way things fall just doesn't cut it. Because again, it's supposed to be stronger close to Earth, yet it can be debunked by a gentle breeze. So again, don't go deluding yourself into these ridiculous heliocentric stories or fantasies and put aside what is true, demonstrably true, and entertain delusions. Come on folks. This at this point in time is quite frankly ridiculous. I struggle, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, I struggle to entertain anyone who believes in this globe and tries to defend it, particularly when I articulate myself and put forward the points that I stand by. I don't stand by anything that can't be scientifically demonstrated, tested and verified by all, including the person I'm having the conversation with. If they don't get it, then clearly you're dealing with someone who's got issues. It's that simple. And of course the third simplistic truth that I stand by that can be tested and verified by all is pendulums and tower cranes. With me being a tower crane operator, whether it be PEDs, saddles or luffers for 2 decades now, of course I know through direct realism that the earth, thankfully, is not a spinning, wobbling, oscillating ball that's doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions. And then, as you're probably well aware, the last 7 years I've been asking for a practical reference from the globe community, if you want to call it that, proving in their minds that tower cranes and pendulums can be dead still on a spinning, wobbling, oscillating ball, one that's doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions. There's no demonstrable science on this earth that would prove otherwise. Of course, the earth's not a spinning ball. But what we've had here is a pilot desperately tried to cling on to his globe belief. At least he went and had a practical go at it by citing us with his practical reference. But of course, as I've been stating, as reality states and proves to us, as can be tested by every single person on this earth, that every single pendulum on this earth, if it's traveling, i.e. moving, it will show it by deviating from the center, not being plumb and not being still. These aren't my opinions, these are scientific facts, one that a globe pilot is about to prove to you as well. Bearing in mind, he's not recreating the globe model here in any shape or form. He's desperately trying to make the best conditions possible to keep this pendulum dead still, to somehow prove that the Earth's a spinning, wobbling ball. And he's not representing the globe Earth model whatsoever by the inside of his aircraft doing a fairly slow speed, no doubt going as straight and steady as possible. And he's still not representing his model, and the results still prove the globe is scientifically impossible. So let's have a look. I'm guessing this pendulum's 5 foot, maybe 6 foot tall. Obviously the plane's not really a representation of the globe Earth model whatsoever, but I respect you, man, for having a go at this. But what he does show, of course, is what I've been claiming, that every pendulum on this Earth proves the Earth's not a spinning, wobbling ball. Now imagine, this is only 5-6 feet, going quite slow in a plane. Imagine a crane in single fall with 1,000 foot of rope doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions. Clearly ridiculous at this point in time, and anyone that tries to defend it without any demonstrable science, which of course there isn't, I can't take seriously. Sorry lads, words do not change reality. Reality is what it is. I suggest you have your bias to the things that are simply true, however uncomfortable that is. Even this globe pilot is showing you how absurd the spinning, wobbling, oscillating globe Earth is. He's trying to make the best conditions possible. He's trying to make the best conditions possible, which do not match his model, and he still can't get the results he wants. Like I say, every pendulum on this Earth and tower crane prove the Earth is not spinning and wobbling and oscillating. It's obvious anyway, but if you want scientific practical references, there you go. Get yourself a pendulum, 2 meters tall. The longer, taller, the better, because it acts as a more realistic reference. I was supposed to be recreating tower cranes on a spinning, wobbling, oscillating ball. Okay? So the bigger the pendulum, the better as a practical scientific reference for you and anyone doing that test. But as we've seen here from this globe-believing pilot, he's not even representing his model, and yet he's still showing you how ludicrous his model is. Let's get to a map that, of course, off the back of what I've shown you, this map I'm going to show you is a true, real-life representation of reality. Bear with me. And to finish up, here's my map, which is a visual representation of reality. In this instance, I'm showing the British Isles. This is reality. This is backed by demonstrable reality, tested and verified by all. Of course, large standing bodies of water do not have the ability to display convexity upon its surface. Tower cranes and pendulums don't have the ability to be dead still on a spinning, wobbling, oscillating ball. And of course, you can't have an air pressure system next to a vacuum without solid separation. Look how awesome that map is. Look, imagine how much fun an ISS flyby would be if what they were saying was real. I mean, imagine it. But sadly it's not. The Earth's a level plane, demonstrably true. We're not spinning and wobbling and oscillating. And like I say, NASA provided the practical reference that you can have an air pressure system next to a vacuum. In their instance, their practical reference, the walls were concrete and between 6 and 8 feet thick. The globe is clearly scientifically impossible. The only thing that holds it together are delusions within people's heads who choose to believe things that are quite frankly absurd. This is my map. This is a representation of reality. If you want a bigger map with the continents and bits and pieces in their correct place, then we need full exploration. It's that simple. Until then, I stand by the things that are demonstrably true. And of course, those things tell us the globe's impossible. That alone should push forward the fact and how urgent it is for us to have exploration. Then you add to the fact what is currently going on right now. You should be, if you're a globe believer or someone on the fence or a skeptic, you should be seriously concerned with what is going on right now, considering the simplistic truth of our realm and considering the fact our freedoms are being hijacked. Wake up, folks.